Good morning, YouTube. So one of the things I've been working on is capacity testing my pack number 1, which is the third battery pack or module that came out of the 4S battery that I first put together last spring. So it's had about 5 months of use. Yeah, so this pack seems to have dropped a bit in capacity. End of March, early April, it was 32,950. 950 milliamp hours, and it's been testing out at either I've got 32,148 or 32,094, so it looks like it's lost between 8 and 900 milliamp hours. But I wanted to show you something here. So here is the last charge I did on the iCharger. So one thing I've done is I've brought the battery packs back inside for testing, because the weather's kind of taken a turn and it's now getting down into the mid 50-degree Fahrenheit range overnight, and I find the temperature has a pretty significant impact on capacity. But as I was mentioning in the previous video, here was a charge done and I got 31,948 on the charge capacity, and I've been getting just a little over 32,000 on the discharge. And the thing to notice here is this particular pack number 1 took 12 hours and 21 minutes to charge. When it was down here, it was taking 13 to 14 hours to charge at the same 3 amps, just because I had more wires and there was more voltage drop in the system. So out of that maybe 14-hour charge time, it took about 9 hours to get up to 4 volts, and then it took about 5 hours to do the constant voltage charging where the current is dropping off. This one runs about 9 or 9.5 hours, and then it drops off in just about 2 hours. So there's quite a difference in that constant voltage charging time. Okay, YouTube, finally got a good capacity test on pack number 1. So that battery pack or module tested out at 32,950 this spring, probably in March. I just got a good capacity test on it here. Did 32,562 milliamp hours, and that's about 388 milliamp hour drop from where it was this spring, which is about 1.2%. So actually that pack lost the most capacity. It was the highest to begin with and has lost the most, but only a little over 1%, so that's not too bad. So I guess the next thing I want to do here is I'm going to go over and test pack number 7 right there. So this is the only module or battery pack that I've built that I haven't cycled. This one's been on storage charge since probably May, when I finished capacity matching it. And so one thing I want to do is I'm going to do a capacity test on that module and see if there's any difference in the capacity compared to when I tested the individual cells in the battery holders there. So that'll be the only difference. I'll be using the same battery charger, the same cells, but before they were plugged in here, and now they're hardwired into my battery holder over here. So the big thing I want to see in the next video is what effect does the heavier gauge wiring have on the charging characteristics, I guess you would say. Because one thing I've noticed is with the heavier gauge wiring, the batteries charge about an hour or an hour and a half faster than they did before, and that results in a little bit less current going into the cells, and if you put in less current, you can't take out as much current. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video, and I'll do a capacity test, both a charge and a discharge, on pack number 7. It's not that the cells have less capacity when they're in that holder. It's just that when you combine the heavier gauge wiring, this battery charger, discharger, is going to handle that differently. it's set up to do a particular charge-discharge cycle, and having the battery down here in these cell holders, you get one characteristic, and they're in that hardwired configuration in my 20P battery holders. They have a different characteristic. There's less resistance, and this charger does different things. So what I want to do is just get a feeling for what is the change from this to that. Stay tuned for that. If you have any questions about that, post up in the comments section below, and I'll put any update videos over on the left side. And as always, thanks for watching.